my gosh, this is so fun. I'm so excited to be here with all of you today. For those of you that are showing up, thank you for showing up to Wisdom from Within. That is the message. That is my mission, to help all of you connect and remember the wisdom that is inside of your body, the wisdom and beauty that you were born with. And my work is all about helping you return home to that innate intelligence that's here to serve you. But let's pause there for a second. I was thinking before I started that some of you that are watching this will know me because you follow me, and some may not. So I want to just take a moment to introduce myself to you and again say thank you for being here. So first of all, I'm going to show up here every single week with wisdom from within, because again, that is my mission, to help you return to that wisdom, to become familiar with that wisdom. I'm a leadership coach. I help people lead their lives from the inside out, going deep inside of yourself to reconnect to that guidance, to that soul that you were born with, that unapologetic, willing, knowing part of you. It's there, it's so alive, and it is ready to guide you in every decision that you make in your life. And so my hope is that when I'm here with you each week, moving through conversations, sharing stories about what I've learned, sharing stories about what my clients have learned, what has awakened within them, sharing excerpts from my book that I've written for you called Your Body is Speaking. My hope is that through all of this interaction, something will awaken inside of you and help you just remember that the most trusted guide is here. This is the teacher. You know, I talk often about how those nudges, those feelings and those sensations inside of you aren't just signals. They're not just there to exist. They're there to teach you and to remind you and to show you what feels right in your life and what doesn't, and what, you know, important decisions are in front of you and what needs your attention and what doesn't feel safe and what does feel safe. So, you know, it's reconnecting with those parts of yourself. The work that I do is, I like to think of it as the other half of mindset. There's so much information and acknowledgement around mindset, which is really important. And we're missing a big piece of the conversation, which is our body. So body setting is a focus for me. And I've created a practice for you called the Power of Gesture. It's my signature body set practice that helps you return to that wisdom, that helps you get in touch with that guidance system within you. Because the truth is, our body knows before our mind. And there's going to be a lot of information that I share with you throughout the weeks and inside this book that I've written for you to help you understand that concept, because society really has conditioned us out of the body. It's conditioned us out of allowing our body to guide us, and instead focus so much on the mind, the logic, the linear, the sort of mathematical. I'm bringing that in because society focuses so much on logical, mathematical. And the truth is, we're so much more than that analytic, logical self. We have these emotions and sensations inside of us that are wildly intelligent. We just haven't been taught that they're intelligent, and we haven't been shown how to listen. You know, instead, we're told you're being too emotional, or, that the feeling that you're having inside of you just doesn't really matter. It's just a feeling. But the truth is, it's the wisdom, it's the intelligence, it's your truth. I focus a lot on embodied leadership, right? Becoming embodied means coming into alignment with your truth, with your emotions, with your sensations, and then leading from that place. So whether or not you're a parent, if you have children and you're leading them, or if you're leading teams at work, or just leading yourself in your own life, in your relationships, this is embodied leadership. And I truly believe that this is the way of the future. This is what allows us to connect to what matters most to us and what we stand for, how we're gonna, how do we raise our children if we don't know what we believe in first? So, and I have 2 kids, so I totally get it. There's this whole concept of like societal pressures and narratives that are written for us in all these books and told to us in all kinds of ways. And again, it's that conditioning us out of listening to our truth, our bodies. And when we really pause and think about it, when it comes to, let's say, our children, we want the best for them. We want them to be guided by strong pillars of truth and honesty and authenticity. And how can we possibly show them the way if we don't know our way first? So that's embodied leadership. And so we need to body set to get aligned with that truth. And then when we're leading our teams, it's the same thing. When we're leading our teams in the office, it's all about vision. And vision stems from truth. And how can we create a vision for our teams? How can we possibly lead them if we don't know what we want, if we don't know authentically what we need? So in the workplace, a lot of times we're led by bosses and superiors and executives and whatever, people that are supposed to know the way. And what if something doesn't align with us? What if there's a truth inside of us? What if there's a vision that needs to be unearthed, but just isn't really accepted or allowed or brought into the conversation because logic or what's written says that that's the way? Excuse me, I'm moving this over here. So I just believe so deeply in the concept of embodied leadership. And I also want to say, I want to offer this to you, or say anyway, that embodied leadership, or just becoming embodied in general, body setting and getting into that truth, can be absolutely terrifying, because listening to our body, listening to that truth can be scary. Because then once we're connected to our truth, then we need to act on it, right? And so I'm going to say this, that the action, or what we need to do when we unearth our truth, really the first step is just listening. And so I like to offer that, because when we body set, when we connect to our truth, oftentimes people, and I totally get it because I've done this too, people feel like, okay, now what? What do I need to do now? I know my truth. Do I have to go leave the job that I've been at for 20 years? Do I have to break up the marriage that I've been with for so long? Do I need to make the move because I really don't like this town? Like, now that I know the truth and now that I'm admitting it, what do I need to do? And the thing is, you don't, in my opinion, have to really do anything. It's just allowing yourself to feel your truth and notice your truth and journal about your truth. And then it's like this beautiful evolution around the outcome comes later, right? Just giving yourself that permission to pause. So, wisdom from within is just all about knowing that you are so wise, so intelligent, and that your truth really matters. And so I'm excited to do this each week. And I invite you to email me and say, I want to be a guest. I want to come onto your live stream because I want to have these conversations. I just did a beautiful workshop with this community just right before I came on here. And one of the women in the group had this extraordinary transformation because she was feeling so pressured by herself to be a certain thing and do a certain thing. And she had all these high expectations, which I totally get because I've been there 100 times myself. And I gave her the permission to just be, right? So instead of, like she said, I'm just going to tell you quickly her story. She said, you know, I go to work, I do the thing, I'm doing a pretty good job. I come home, I make the dinner, I walk the dog, I do the thing. And then it comes to the end of the night where I'm supposed to do my yoga practice and I'm supposed to get on my mat and do it. And why can't I? Instead, I just want to like have a drink and sit on the couch. And why do I? And what I invited her to consider was just, why do you have to be anything else other than how you feel? How do you really feel right now? What? There's a block preventing you from getting on that mat. What is it? She's like, well, I'm angry. I'm like, good. Okay, what else? I'm frustrated. I'm sad. I'm lonely. Okay, let's go. Let's allow that to be your truth, because that is the truth. And just body set, allowing yourself to feel angry, lonely, sad, whatever the thing is. Because if we rush through that internal wisdom that's knocking at your door, right? That's giving you the angst and the upset. If we don't acknowledge and just be with that first, it's just going to keep getting louder and it's going to make us sick. So giving her that permission, right? So she embodied with the body set this loneliness. And then her next gesture, which I didn't even tell you, I think I told you about my practice, the power of gesture. It's my body set. Okay. So we use our hands in this practice. That's it. We don't have to get up and dance and do anything. We use our hands. And we're going to get into this in a little bit. I'll explain why the hands are so powerful. So I'm sharing her wisdom from within right now. So she did a body set. And then from that loneliness, when actually both her hands were around her belly, because that's what she felt, she brought her hands to her heart. And all of a sudden things shifted. And I invited her to just be with the loneliness, not with the, I got to get on the mat. I got to do this. I got to be perfect. I got to just be lonely, be in the lonely. And I know, and that was my whole point. I know that can be scary and people don't want to do that part. And what I'm saying is it's essential, and we don't have to do it in a scary way. And we don't need to, cry for hours, and we don't need to relive our trauma. We need to acknowledge what's real for us. We need to acknowledge the sensations and emotions that are inside our body. We need to acknowledge that intelligence within us. It is wise. It is so intelligent, and it's telling you what you need, and it's telling you what's next. And so starting there. So here she was in the loneliness. Here she brought her heart center into it, and she opened up. And what I love about her internal wisdom is she said, thank you, because I forgot that I have this heart center filled with love and like ready, I'm paraphrasing, but this is kind of what she said, and ready to get curious about this loneliness. Like, why am I lonely, right? I oftentimes say that the emotions and sensations inside of our body, they're not only our truth, and we need to acknowledge them, they're our greatest teachers, And so I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. The loneliness in her reminded her of her heart center, and that she has so much love for herself, and that she can just be in that space and move from there. So she lowered the volume on the expectations, and she raised up the volume on her truth. And I believe that if we don't acknowledge the root, the realness, the honest place that we're at, it's only going to get louder, like I said before, and it's going to make us sick. So this is a way to avoid that, right? So do we want to be sick, or do we want to feel really vulnerable and like move through it so we avoid getting sick, right? Getting super stressed out. Do we want to learn a tool that can help us, get comfortable and in uncomfortable situations? Do we want to learn a tool that allows our nervous system to rest when we get stressed out? Or do we want it to like keep going like a 3-year-old tantruming inside of our body? Because that's what it is. It is truly these emotions and this wisdom and all this. They're like little children. Each part, the loneliness, the anger, the frustration, the angst, the fun, the joy, all the emotions, right? They're all like little people inside of us just wanting to be heard. And it's up to us to listen, right? And then the great news is that when we listen, we learn so much and we're being taught, and then we elevate our life, and then we can step into embodied leadership for all the things in our life. What I want to do now is just read you a teeny bit from my book, which is coming out September 30th, called Your Body is Speaking. And it's part memoir and part story. Oh, story is memoir. Memoir and practice. So I teach you the power of gesture in my book so that you leave that book, and hopefully you'll leave some of these conversations with this tool, the power of gesture, which allows you to just use your hands to unlock your wisdom inside of your soul, your emotional intelligence. So we all have innately this ability to tap into, to heighten, to elevate our emotional intelligence. We are all emotionally intelligent, and it's about strengthening that intelligence, right? And we use our hands, which is kinesthetic intelligence, our physical body's ability to help us learn, process, and communicate. So we combine in my practice kinesthetic intelligence and emotional intelligence so that we can tap in by body setting. You following me? Tap in by body setting and then get in touch with our truth so that we can live elevated, empowered, all the things. Okay. So my book, Your Body is Speaking, I write a letter to the reader, and I want to read it to you. Again, it's not very long, and I think that you will appreciate it. I hope that you will. Okay. Dear reader, have you ever felt the pull to make a shift in your life, but something keeps getting in the way? That stirring inside, the one that you can feel but can't quite understand, but you know that something is off. From the outside, your life looks great. People depend on you, they love you, and they may even admire you. Yet deep down, something isn't right, as if there's a truth waiting to be heard. For the longest time, I felt like I was living my life, being who I was supposed to be, following the path, but quietly disappearing inside of it. If you know that feeling, if you've felt this disconnect in your bones, I wrote this for you. This book was not written to give you more strategies or steps. It's here instead to remind you that the stirring inside is a call back to yourself. It's awakening the kind of courage that lives quietly inside of you, waiting to be heard. If you're even holding this book, it means something in you is already rising to meet that call. You don't need to earn your way back to yourself. You just need to trust that you're already there. You're not alone. I've been there, and I'm here now, walking right alongside you. For years, I didn't think that I had the right words to express what I felt or what I needed, fearing that I wouldn't do it in the right way. Yet here I am, having written this entire book for you, wanting to share with you what I know to be true. Your body has never stopped speaking to you. It's been whispering, nudging, trying to get your attention, not to overwhelm you, but to guide you. It's trying to remind you that you're still in there and that you have the strength to return to your voice of truth so that it can guide you toward your highest, most empowered self. We are wired to trust our instincts as natural intelligence. That's a natural intelligence that's essential for survival. As hunters and gatherers, our ancestors relied on their bodies to sense danger, to find food, to navigate their environment. And they didn't overthink. They felt. They listened to the signals inside of their bodies, whether it was a quickening heartbeat that warned of a predator, tensed muscles signaling a readiness for action, an intuitive pull that may have caused a parent to protect a child from danger. But somehow along the way, we've lost that connection. We've started prioritizing logic over instinct, perfection over presence, and validation over truth. We have learned to override our feelings, ignore the signs, and dismiss what we know to be real. Coming back to your body isn't just a return to something ancient or familiar. It's a necessary call to action when you're craving to live your truth. Throughout this book, I'll guide you to listen, notice, and gently respond to what your body has been trying to tell you all along. And don't worry, I'll walk with you every single step of the way. I have so many hopes for you when you read this book, but if I had to pick just one, it would be this: that you come to trust the stirrings within you, not as something to suppress or fear, but as signals from your body telling you that something important deserves your attention. I believe that in order to live fully and freely, we must relearn what our ancestors knew so well. The body speaks to us. It warns. It guides. It protects, and it knows our truth. And my question to you is, are you ready to listen? Bam. That is a letter to you. That is an invitation to you. It is my hope for you. This work is essential. I'm getting emotional. Wow. Woo! Okay. Shake it off, shake it off. Because if we don't pay attention, our life is going to go by and we're going to have so many regrets. And we're not going to live the way we deserve. So no one, society, our parents, generations past, friends, partners, no one gets to hijack our truth. No one gets to tell us how to live, how to lead, how to be. No one gets to tell you how to love. No one gets to tell you that you're not good enough. No one gets to tell you that you're not cold when you're cold. No one gets to tell you that you should be this or that. No one. So it's up to us, to you, right? To me, to not give our power away. We have this one life in this one body. I mean, I believe that our soul moves on to other things. But in this body, we have one life, and it's up to us as to how we live it. So I invite you to come join me every week here. I'll be back next week. Every time on Wednesdays, just sometimes it'll be 11 and sometimes it'll be 1. And I would love to engage in conversations with you. I want to know what your body speaks to you. I want you to share your wisdom. And it doesn't have to be this huge revelation. It's just, hey, I was walking down the street and I felt this nudge, or I was in this event and I felt this nudge. This is what I did or I didn't do. This is all about that reconnection, that remembering that this is a place for community, for all of us to lean into this very, very, very important call to action. Because when we lead from our truth, we don't follow people that are doing things that don't align with us, whether it's in personal communities, political communities, relationship communities, work communities, right? So I invite you into this conversation. Please feel free to email me at jen@jenax.com. And you can visit me at my website. You can find my contact information there. I am here to serve you in this way. I am here to remind you and help you awaken all of that incredible wisdom within you. So thank you for being here. Yay! I can't wait to come back next week. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. I can't wait to hear all of it. And find me on Instagram. You can also message me there. I will get right back to you, and I have things to offer you. I have classes for you to take. I have a free class every Tuesday at 11 o'clock, and you can find the link on Instagram in my bio, and you can explore the power of gesture, this body set tool that will put you on the path towards that remembering, towards that reclaiming, towards that listening to your truth. And it's always safe with me. It's always safe and it's always sacred, because this work matters more to me than anything. So I thank you. Thank you for being here. And I can't wait to see you again soon.